Hello friends and welcome back. This week sees the US release of the long-awaited F9. In the unlikely event that my boss sees this video, I want to make it very clear that I am not taking off work on Friday so that I can go see the movie in IMAX while my kids are in daycare. That is not happening. While F9 does feature the return of one beloved character, that of course being Han, it notably does not have Agent Hobbs, played by Dwayne the Rock Johnson. The explanation for his absence in this movie varies a bit depending on who you ask and when you ask them. It seems to be related in no small part to the beef between The Rock and his co-star Vin Diesel, who of course plays Dominic Toretto. Today, we're going to talk about everything we know about the feud and figure out whether or not The Rock will return for later movies in the series. We got a lot to get to, but before we dive in, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, or else the next beef you'll be hearing about is the one between you and me. Things kicked off back in 2016 during the filming of Fate of the Furious. The Rock posted the following in a since deleted Instagram post. Some male co-stars conduct themselves as stand-up men and true professionals while others don't. The ones that don't are too chicken shit to do anything about it anyway. Candy asses. When you watch this movie next April and it seems like I'm not acting in some of these scenes and my blood is legit boiling, you are right. So right off the bat, we know that The Rock has an issue with some male co-stars, though it's unclear exactly whom he's talking about. Yeah. August 9th, 2016, TMZ identifies Vin Diesel as being the source of The Rock's anger. People from the camps of both actors came together and were trying to work something out. It is rumored that The Rock took issue with the fact that he had a diminished role in Fate of the Furious, which seems weird because he actually had, in my opinion, a much smaller role in the seventh one, but whatever. August 10th, 2016, another Instagram post from The Rock celebrating his end of filming. The Rock says, "Family is going to have differences of opinion and fundamental core beliefs. To me, conflict can be a good thing when it's followed by great resolution. I was raised on healthy conflict and welcome it, and like any family, we get better from it." So it seems like he's doing okay now, right? Wrong. August 11th, 2016, Vin Diesel talks about his joy about coming home after rapping on Fate of the Furious. He seems to kind of talk about the candy ass comment where he says, "Give me a second and I will tell you everything. Everything." In the video, he actually goes on to tell you nothing. August 19, 2016, The Rock has another Instagram post where he basically goes through and thanks every single person in the Fast and Furious movie, including Tyrese, but notably leaves Diesel out of the thanks. That reminds me a little bit of, you remember The Simpsons, where Sideshow Bob is driving the truck down Bart's street, and he says, "The following people will not be killed by me." And then he lists everyone except for Bart and then goes, "That is all." September 2nd, 2016, Michelle Rodriguez confirms that there was in fact some bad blood between Vin Diesel and The Rock. She says, "Any human being who knows what men are like knows to stay out of those situations and let them figure it out. They're bros, man. They're friends, and ultimately, even friends reach a point where they have to set aside their differences to make a movie for multicultural people around the world, and that is the bigger scheme of things." Got it. November 19th, 2016, The Rock has an interview in Los Angeles Times where he basically acknowledges the feud. He says, "I was very clear with what I said. I've been in the game a long time." He hints that the beef helped sort of raise the profile of the movie so that it was ultimately a good thing, but I think that was just sort of like the businessman part of his brain talking. He still seemed pretty PO'd. April 7th, 2017, Diesel alludes to the feud in an interview with USA Today. He sort of downplays everything. Here's what he says. "I don't think the world really realizes how close we are in a weird way. I think some things may be blown out of proportion. I don't think that was his intention. I know he appreciates how much I work this franchise. In my house, he's Uncle Dwayne." He did acknowledge, however, that it can be hard on a film set whenever there are two alphas. April 9th, 2017, both The Rock and Vin Diesel attend the premiere for Fate of the Furious. When asked about the feud, Rock just said that he and Vin Diesel have different philosophies. Vin Diesel said, "We still love each other. That's my boy. When I was making that difficult decision, should there be an 8 or not, I called Johnson, and he said, 'Brother, I will be there shoulder to shoulder with you to make sure it's the best movie in history.' It wasn't." He adds, once again, "At my house, he's Uncle Dwayne, and I'm proud of that." For some reason, the more times he says it, the more creepy it sounds. October 10th, 2017, it is announced that Fast 9 has been delayed for the first time for non-COVID reasons. Tyrese takes to Instagram to blame The Rock for the delay. In a not deleted Instagram post, Tyrese writes, "Congratulations to The Rock and your brother-in-law, aka $7 producing partner, H.H. Garcia 41, for making the Fast and the Furious franchise about you." The reason that Tyrese was blaming The Rock is because The Rock and Jason Statham were going to be doing the Hobbs and Shaw spin-off from the Fast and Furious franchise, which would result in a delay for the release of Fast and Furious 9. Now, what's a little bit interesting about this delay that was caused is, I think, at least originally, the idea behind the delay was that there was an expectation that The Rock was going to be in Fast and Furious 9, and therefore they couldn't actually start filming it until he was wrapped with Hobbs and Shaw. But he's not in Fast 9, so a little unclear how that's all tied in. Vin Diesel actually comes out in support of The Rock with an Instagram post where it's a picture of him and The Rock from the filming of Fast 5. He says in it, "I know there's been a lot of speculation as to why Fast 9 release date was pushed, but it would be unfair to say it's anyone's fault. As we plot the course to expand the Fast and Furious universe, one must be mindful to take stock of the roads we took to get here. The pillars of..." Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing. "Like any vehicle that has run around the globe 8 times, the franchise is in need of maintenance. We have some very exciting news to share soon. Stay tuned." April 4th, 2018. Now, when Fate of the Furious comes out, it is very apparent to anyone watching the movie that even in scenes in which The Rock and Vin Diesel are supposedly together, it is very, very clear that they were not ever in the same place at the same time. When asked about the fact that it seemed like they were never in the same place at the same time, The Rock said, "That is correct. We were not in any scenes together." The Rock also adds, "Vin and I had a few discussions, including an important face-to-face in my trailer. And what I came to realize is that we have a fundamental difference in philosophies on how we approach movie making and collaborating. It took me some time, but I'm grateful for that clarity, whether we work together again or not." Uh-oh. He adds, "I wish him all the best and harbor no ill will there just because of the clarity we have. Actually, you can erase that last part about no ill will. We'll just keep it with the clarity." So, yeah, I mean, this is obviously not great because at this moment it seems like The Rock is implying that he's probably done being involved with the Fast and Furious universe outside of, you know, whatever side world they're kind of creating with the whole Hobbs and Shaw thing. But fast forward to September 2019, it seems like The Rock is feeling a bit more gracious towards Vin Diesel and his Fast and Furious castmates. In an Instagram post where he's thanking all these people after the release of Hobbs and Shaw, he includes a thanks for Vin Diesel where he says, "Lastly but not least, want to thank brother Vin for your support of Hobbs and Shaw." He adds his line, "I'll be seeing you soon, Toretto," which is a callback to Fast 5, but also seems to imply that, you know, maybe he will be seeing him again. After a long period of not really hearing too much about the feud from either of these guys, in an interview with Men's Health, Vin Diesel gets asked about it once again, and he reveals more than he ever has before previously. Vin claims the reason for the bad blood was the fact that he, Vin Diesel, was wearing his producer hat. And in wearing his producer hat, he was kind of a hard ass, in particular when The Rock first came into the Fast and Furious franchise, because he wanted to take him from being just kind of like this wrestler guy into being the type of actor that you really need to see in the Fast and Furious films. Here's what he said. "It was a tough character to embody, the Hobbs character. My approach at the time was a lot of tough love to assist in getting that performance where it needed to be. As a producer to say, okay, we're going to take Dwayne Johnson, who's associated with wrestling, and we're going to force this cinematic world audience members to regard his character as someone that they don't know. Hobbs hits you like a ton of bricks. That's something that I am proud of. That aesthetic. That took a lot of work. We had to get there, and sometimes, at that time, I could give a lot of tough love. Not Fellini-esque, but I would do anything I'd have to do in order to get performances in anything I'm producing." So this is kind of interesting, and this actually kind of seems to tie into a thing that Vin Diesel does a lot in these movies, which is where even when he's complimenting a person, or even when he's kind of like trying to underplay, you know, like any type of drama between two people, he's always approaching things from a place of like, I'm in charge, I'm the one who knows what needs to be done. And even just his appearance in the film and how he acted in the film, Vin is the one taking credit for that. He's not giving the credit to The Rock for his own performance. Vin Diesel also previously claimed that the only reason The Rock was in the franchise to begin with was he put a question on his Facebook being like, hey, who should I work with? And someone was like, The Rock. And then I guess he thinks he was doing The Rock a favor by bringing him into Fast 5. Now, the big question, of course, is with The Rock not in Fast 9, can we expect to see The Rock in the remaining 2 films in the franchise? The answer is, we don't know yet. It does seem like there are pretty strong implications that he will be appearing again. When John Cena was asked about whether or not he and The Rock would have any fights with each other, he seemed to strongly imply that that was going to happen. So I don't know. It just seems like it would be like a pretty major disappointment if we never saw The Rock with the rest of the family ever again. It just feels like that part of the story is incomplete. Who knows? We'll find out soon. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. Whose side are you on? Team Rock or Team Vin Diesel? Leave a comment, let me know. Thanks so much, guys. Enjoy F9 and talk soon.